Andrew Haug here on Triple J's Full Metal Racket, and not only just me, but the rest of the country metal population, that is just doing absolute backflips at the moment with the announcement of the Iron Maiden long overdue tour of Australia, which will be happening in February next year. Of course, the last time the band were on Australian soil was 1992 for the Fear of the Dark tour. Some of you may have been there. I certainly was. And it is the band's fourth Australian tour, and what better way to welcome him back to the airways of Triple J yet again is Mr. Bruce Dickinson, the frontman for the band. Of course, if you didn't know, you've been living in a cave. G'day, Bruce. Welcome back to Triple J Australia. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, mate. It's brilliant news. I mean, obviously we've been planning it for a while, so we had to keep stum about it. We were actually we were going to be doing Australia no matter what happened with the rest of the plans. So Australia was ring-fenced as being, right, okay, if we can't get our logistics together to do all the rest of it all joined up, then we're still going to do Australia no matter what. So you guys were safe.
Thank you. Now, it'd been rumoured for many, many years, and I always sort of used to drop some of those bombshells here and there that, yep, I heard Maiden might be coming. But I did hear the bombshell on a program I listen to quite regularly, being your program on BBC One, the rock show every Friday from, was it 10 to 1? Almost a similar slot to mine.
A really strong signal that comes from Broadcasting House. You know, it goes all the way to Australia.
Yeah, it does.
The internet, you know.
Well, I did. I heard you actually reading out a letter from a listener, or an email from a listener in Melbourne, and then you kind of pretty much spilt the beans about the tour that was happening in February. So yeah, I had to sort of spill those beans on my program to let the masses know. So, like I said, great news that the band's finally here, coming in Feb.
Well, I don't think it hurts to drop the old little wind up every now and again about things, you know, without giving away the specifics. You know, it just keeps the pot boiling, and it's great. I mean, so I found it very hard not to read out the list of dates, to be honest with you. But I thought we'd better leave that to official press releases and everything else.
Well, I was sort of sworn to secrecy last week too, so.
Yeah, well, I think it all kicks off, you know, like worldwide today or tomorrow. I think they're going to release this press release, and everybody is going to know what we're planning for next year, which is really going to be quite spectacular. The whole of next year is going to be like, you know, Iron Maiden, Eddie owns the world next year.
Well, pretty much. Now, let's talk about the tour, because you did tour heavily on the last record, one of the strongest Maiden records in the catalogue, being A Matter of Life and Death, where you did play the album in its entirety, which I heard sort of met with a lot of mixed reactions from fans who are just so, you know, hung up on the amazing back catalogue you already have, whereas Maiden are still such a strong band wanting to make new music. How did you find that how did you find that as, that tour progressed, that you guys were really proud of the new record and playing the songs when, you know, you're sort of in the fine line of the fans wanting to hear, I guess, the Maiden jukebox?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, you're always going to, if you do something like that, you're always going to run into that as an issue with one or two people. But it wasn't like they didn't know when they bought the ticket, you know.
Yep.
You know, if people have been living under a stone for, for a few months and thought, I'll buy an Iron Maiden ticket without reading anything about what they're going to do or figuring out what we're going to do, or, you know, then I could understand it. But, you know, we stated quite categorically, you know, and without printing it actually on the ticket, you know, warning, you know, warning, you will not be hearing a greatest hits set. You will be hearing the whole of the album start to finish.
Yeah.
So, given that, we haven't had anybody ask for their money back. In fact, you know, the tour was sold out.
Yep.
So, you know, whilst there might have been the odd whinge and everything else, I think in general we pulled it off, and you know, I'm very proud of us doing that, actually, because if we hadn't have done something like that, you know, somebody could always come along and take the cheap shot and say, but, you know,
move on.
In reality, you know, the band is always just, you know, living off its past glories. It's like, well, okay, dude. You know, how about we do a world tour where we don't have any past glories at all, and we just still sell the thing out, and we still get great reactions, and we still get great reviews. So So that worked for us really well, and it was such a fine album. I mean, I genuinely think it's one of the best albums we've done in the last 15 years, because it's Maiden, but we're not bending over and doing the growling vocals, or trying to ape whatever the current fashion is in metal. We're just progressing our sound in a modern way.
Yep.
But not compromising it, the next album's not going to be for another, couple of years, 2.5 years probably. But I'm really excited, thinking, wow, I wonder what it's going to be like, because until we kick off and start writing it, we don't know.
Now let's go back one tour before that, and I was actually privileged enough to catch that too at the Ozfest in 2005, where you did kick off the tour with tracks from the first 4 albums. Now, are we looking at? I've sort of heard word that the next batch of albums are going to be the next 4 after the first 4 for this Australian tour.
Yeah, no. Effectively, this tour is the sort of, if you like, the early days part 2. But,
yep.
But hence, somewhere back in time.
The name.
Hence the name and everything. But you can effectively the meat and potatoes of the set list is going to be taken from Power Slave, from Somewhere in Time,
yes,
and from Seventh Son, with 1 or 2 things from Peace of Mind as well.
Yep.
And I can't remember at the moment.
Don't give too much away.
Yeah, I can't remember whether or not we did decide to cave in and say, well, maybe there's 1 song or 2 that we have to play from Number of the Beast or not. But the trouble is, you put together a set list and you look at it and you think, God, wow, what a great set list, and it really is going to be it's a fantastic set list. It's going to blow people away, all I would say is, if you're a fan of Monty Python, make sure you bring your albatross crisps with you.